joined by a very, very, very interesting young group of people whom we're going to get to know more as time goes by. But I am Nana Naomi, sitting here as Managing Director of CGK Africa, and let's enjoy the session. Our theme is defining them what I know now, and really looking into the lessons, opportunities, and what we can do better, what we can do different, and stuff like that. So welcome, and I think we can just jump right in. Hi everybody.
Hello.
Is everybody fine?
Yeah.
He's on his phone. I can't believe it. Yeah, he's on his phone. So yeah, 10 years later, he'll be like, if I knew I was, this show is gonna. Right?
Yeah.
Great. So I would like everybody to start, whereby we will be joined by other individuals. Let's not get shocked when they do. But let's start with introducing ourselves. I will start on my left. I don't know why, but let's see who you are. And I remember saying age. I am Naomi. I am 30 years old, and I am the Managing Director of CGK Africa. Karibu.
Thank you for this great opportunity, Naomi. My name is Liza. I am 23. I'm a musician by profession. I'm a music mentor, music entrepreneur, and founder of fedha music. Also a business developer, evolving business developer. I work with multiple firms, and I'm delighted to be part of this enlightening conversation.
Amazing.
You say good afternoon or good evening?
I have no idea. Depends on where you are sitting.
Or depends on what time the viewer is watching. My name is Nasibu Mahinya, entrepreneur, prolific writer, international author. I regard myself as a Tanzania expert, belonging to the 1 percentile of people who know Tanzania, the 99% people. So I do market research and assist businesses with marketing, sales, and just to be able to position themselves in a position where Tanzanians can find them interesting and can actually be addicted to their brands and values and all kinds of things. But I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be with this interesting group. Thanks to you, Nana, for the invite. Cordially invited, and I'm happy to share my thoughts with you.
Amazing.
To inspire the youth and everybody else watching.
Amazing. Amazing. Let's go.
Hi everyone. My name is Elia Ajuna. I am 23 years old. I am a fashion designer professionally, and I am also like a freelancing graphics designer and a branding consultant.
You need that emotional support over
Yeah, so I'm also an entrepreneur. I've been having my clothing brand since I was 19. I started my clothing brand, Alika. And yeah, I also have like my own beauty brand. So yeah, I love business and I want to share my experience with the youth. And thank you so much for inviting me for this. It's amazing to be here. And you're amazing, by the way.
Amazing. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, so I'm just happy to be here and I can't wait to share my news.
Amazing. And Sam, please go on. But also, Mr. Anthony has arrived. He can join us and start with the introduction. Also, Sam, please.
Hello everyone, my name is Samson Kiss, a broadcast journalist, MC, small businessman, and myself, Swahili sema mchuuzi, winga. Okay, kwa hiyo, I'm so happy to meet you here, and I'm so happy to be invited here as a youth to be discussing some issues. So I'm happy to be here. It's a pleasure.
Amazing. Mr. Anthony, this is the one I said will take 2 minutes to introduce. We take a minute. So tell us who you are, and we talk about name. Everybody just ditched that age thing. And so let's just ditch it. And it's just me and you, we didn't ditch. So So introduce yourself and what you do, and then we can go on. Don't worry. Yeah.
Alright, hi, my name is Anthony Jao. I'm a lawyer by education, but I've also worked in accounting and finance. Currently in the hospitality business. I run an apartment project. I'm very happy to be here with everyone. Everyone is looking social. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's great. Yeah. We also have some people in the audience joining us. So when you hear sounds, laughs, or people just chipping in, just know that we're here. We're here. Great. So let's start the topic. Jumping into it just right away. When you hear this sentence, if I knew then what I know now, what is your understanding of this, that, and what would be clicking in your head? And I will start this side because this time the mic is on.
If I could do it all over again, like differently, because I think that without someone going through something, then they don't learn the lesson. So even failure, if you look at it from a different angle, it's a lesson. So I think I'm looking at it in a more positive vibe, right? That there are a lot of things that I could have or wish to have known earlier, then I would have made different choices, right? But here we are.
Yes.
A very relatable one as well, given that as an evolving generation of youths who were trying to walk through this walk of life, who were trying to work through personal development, there's certain aspects of life that we tend to be ignorant to. And a very good example of that would be the power of knowledge. Very few of us would be willing to spend time with love. A lot of us would be willing to spend time partying. A lot of us would love to spend time balling out. But how many of us actually spend time to learn about financial literacy? How many of us spend time to learn about asset management? How many of us take time to learn about building a set of soft skills, given that the world is now transforming into a more automated platform? Things are being innovated. We have robots, we have AI intelligence, artificial intelligence. All this type of technological developments coming in, and they're coming in aggressively. How many of us take time to learn that? How many of us take time to diversify our understanding of such things? And that was a question that I asked myself recently, given the fact that I came across a very interesting article that says a lot of youth by the year 2050, almost 70% of us are going to spend most of our wealth portfolio through luxury shopping brands, fine wine, and luxury travels, but very few spend time to actually invest into things as bonds, shares, company development. And it made me look at life from a different perspective, because life is all about growth and expanding our possibilities to new ventures.
Amazing. Wow. I'm being hit, but let's go on and then we'll continue. What
Guilty. Guilty of what I said.
It's like, I want to do that brand. That designer
I'm
brand.
guilty. I'm guilty. My late teens, my early 20s, up to mid 20s, I spent my money on a bunch of garbage.
Bowling.
Spent my money on a bunch of garbage. Like, I learned financial literacy like late, like maybe in my late 20s, I'll say. And, late 20s, and it hasn't been long. It's maybe 3-4 years since when I just started learning how to properly manage my funds, manage my assets. Like, I would just buy stuff um, that does not really, stuff that doesn't qualify as assets, stuff that take more from me than they add to me. And I've been lucky to have met some people on the way, because I'll tell you, I have a funny story. I've been involved in entrepreneurship since when I was a first year student. And so money was not something new to me, but keeping it, that was the challenge. And I've met people, and one of the people I've met on the way is actually one of the speakers on today's event, the Now Action Talk, recap of financial literacy development, and so for sustainability. And so, me, I'm a testimony of being able to actually know how I could have acted than how I'm currently acting now. And so, it's a resurrection. Money management is a huge lesson that I've learned in the past 5 years. Like, that's the biggest lesson in my life. And now I'm at a position where I would say that I can be able to tell the youth a thing or two. Okay. All right. So I hope I'll share that more later. All right.
Sawa, ukisikia hiyo sentence, if I knew then what I know now, kama nilikuwa najua
If I knew then, I would be somewhere. I was using my much time in playing with people, playing with my network, chasing people. But after knowing that I get the power for this thing, I realized I can make something different in my life. I can make money, I can make a lot of things through them. So after I knew that I have the power of convincing them, I joined the team, starting convincing people to join in my business issues, joining my team of MCs and other things, joining in the issues of spirituals. So all of that is after knowing that I have the power. I have a passion of it, and then I have the power of convincing people. Then tunasema kwamba unaanza kuona sasa kwamba una nguvu, unaanza kuona kwamba una mafanikio, unatengeneza network ambayo inasababisha kitu. Ndio hiyo faida directly, lakini mwanzo ulikuwa unafikiria tu watu kwa unawakuza, lakini sababu watu wanakufuata sababu wanaona kuna kitu ndani yao. Kwa hiyo baada ya kujua kwamba you have something, they can work on it. After that, kupata mafanikio. Lakini ukiongelea katika ile dini ya ife nyumba, hiyo nabaki kujibu hivi kwamba ninaweza nikasema kwamba ningejua kabla ningekuwa labda ningekuwa mbali zaidi.
Miss Avia. She's so young, so I don't know what
Okay, so if I knew then what I knew now, what that topic means to me is that if basically, I mean, it's very self-explanatory, but I feel like most young people especially, we tend to rush these days. We're rushing. I don't know where we're going, but we're rushing. But I feel like it's not the end of the world. One of my favorite lecturers used to tell me, it's not the end of the world. If you don't win, it's not the end of the world. If you fail, it's not the end of the world. Like, just keep going. And failing is not a problem. Not doing well is not a problem. Don't compare yourself to other people. I mean, comparison is the thief of joy. So most of my generation specifically, and the younger generation, we have social media everywhere. So we're constantly comparing ourselves to each other all the time. Like, oh my gosh, she did her hair. Oh my gosh, this other person started a business at 13. What I usually saw someone retiring at 11 on social media And I was like, wait, what? Hold
That's
up.
what-
Yeah. What do you mean you're retiring now? Because you made like $1 billion and more or something. And I was just like, what am I doing with my life, you know? But then we should stop comparing ourselves so much to people. Just go with your own pace. And yeah, just
That's
go with your
amazing.
own pace. That's what I was saying. Yeah.
Great. I'm getting some great words, and I would want at the end to remind me, guys, we say a word about definitely knowledge, time, comparison. I want us to speak not so much more, but I love those words. Then I want to know, with everything we have said, what has been the most important lesson for you? In a sense that, of course, now you are here. Now we're here. So what has been the most important lesson in your journeys? In a sense that something that other people could learn from our end. So please.
I believe there's one thing that our fellow colleagues spoke about learning to take time with things is the manipulated thought success. And that comes with a certain lifestyle that most people tend to portray. Well, successful people tend to portray. And I can give that an example. Most of us, especially youth, would think that being successful is having a lot of money. Being successful is driving a lavish car. Being successful is wearing cool brand. Being successful is sitting in a table for probably millionaires and billionaires. I mean, that is repeated, but like, it's not all of it. Yeah? Na nasema hivyo kwa sababu mafanikio ya mtu yanaanza kwenye akili au yanaanza kwenye idea. Especially for sisi vijana, what we think that for someone to start a business, they need funds. The truth is they don't need funds. What a person needs to start business is idea. Once you have an idea, you then do research on it. You connect with people who have been in that business. How did they do it? How did they make it happen? What was the challenge they came through? How did they work through the obstacles? Yeah, because through those occurrences, through connecting, through networking, that's where one gets to develop their own internal success. But also through embracing your milestones, embracing your achievements, no matter how small it is. Even as small as tying a shoelace, that's an achievement. Because not everyone knows how to tie a shoelace, let's be honest with each other. Yeah. So taking time to embrace the small wins and taking time to embrace our ideas. Me personally, I started this new thing this year where I have a book that I jot down every single idea that comes to my mind. Whether it's stupid, whether it's smart, whether it's possible, I jot it down on my book. Because I know one day, out of 1 million ideas, I'll have one that I'll present in a room, yes, absolutely, that I'll present in a room of investors or in a room of potential people who are going to be willing to support that idea, and it's going to come to life.
One lesson, relationship management. So, I used to squander my relationships. Big time. Like, I didn't know how, for example, if I met Aliyah today, I didn't know how to keep Aliyah a friend for the next year. I mean, Anthony, I cannot make Anthony a friend that I would say, hey man, 5-year anniversary as friends, you know? Couldn't do that. And I don't know why, but I learned how to do it. I don't know why I used to squander my relationships, but I know how I used to squander them. So, but then I learned that your network is your net worth, and also you need to build your network before you need it. You know, there are times when, you know, we as youth, we are going for opportunities and we are knocking doors and stuff like that. And we have that conviction that you only want the people that can help you at the moment in your life. But it's about knowing someone and being able to make that person a friend of yours, that when that time comes that you need help from them, it doesn't really feel like a long shot. They can actually just be of help to you because they are your friends, and if you're friends, that means I tell you my stuff, you tell me your stuff, so you know what's happening, so we can just easily help each other. But there's this thing that we do, that we're meeting someone today and we want them to solve a chunk of our problems today. So I've learned that you need to keep people, care for people, love people, understand people, be there for them. You know, when you do that, it actually makes you feel better. Like me, that I call it service, and I get that from, I would say, from Rotary. As a proud member of the Rotary Club of Mikocheni, I have happened to understand that service is the ultimate high. Like, if I help you, brother, that satisfaction I get from helping you, to me, that is the ultimate high. And so I carry that as one of the biggest lessons in my life. Thank you.
Okay, so one thing that I came to learn, well, I've always been this way, but then I feel like a lot of people are not, is being kind. First of all, it gives off a good impression, and it makes you more memorable when you're kind than when you're not kind, or maybe when you're rude. In any situation where, let's say, the other person would have reacted differently, react kindly to people, and it's gonna take you way, way further. Because I know we've all been in this situation where we smiled at a random stranger, or a random stranger smiled at us, and it made your day. You're like, oh my God, you know, like that happened, you know, and I just feel like kindness takes you a long way in work. And most people are like, oh yeah, my colleagues are not my friends, but then treat them as your friends, even though you know in the back of your mind that, okay, maybe this person is not my friend, but then just be kind and love everyone around you. And yeah, I want to spread kindness. Thank you. Yeah.
The thing that I meant is about let me add something for your friends.
Okay, sure.
You're supposed to find friends, not helpers. Yani wakati unahitaji kutafuta marafiki, usiangalie shida zako. Don't look at your problems. Sababu utakuwa unatafuta msaada na sio marafiki. Mtu ambaye atakuwa anakusogelea akishindwa kutatua, you'll keep him or her away. Because akishindwa kutatua, kwa hiyo wakati huo unakuwa unakuza watu wengine kwa sababu ya shida zako. Sio kwamba sio marafiki, ni wewe shida zako zikufanya wewe uone. So it's supposed to find friends and not helpers. Something I can add more in my plans is about do something until you make it. And don't quit. It means kwamba wewe kama kijana, there are a lot of noises. People are chasing you and saying, oh, you're supposed to be somewhere, you're supposed to be somewhere. Go at your best, but do not quite what you do. There are a lot of noises, but you're supposed to stick on your goals. You're supposed to stick on your target. As a youth, anyone, I think it's not only about youth, it's about everyone in the world. You're supposed to stick on your goals, on your target, what you're supposed to do, what you want to do, what you want to be. You're supposed to stick there. It's about what about yes, there are a lot of things, and a lot of them are wrong. So you're supposed to stick on your goals, stick on your plans, and look forward until you make it. Do not quite at your ambitions.
Take it until you make it.
Sorry, please. So the question here was, what is one lesson?
What's the one lesson? We've spoken of defining then what I know now.
Yes.
But now, what is one lesson that you have? A most important lesson? Yeah. Maybe the answers are even better than what what I expected. So please understand me just
Okay, so, wow. So, I almost want to put a disclaimer, like, don't laugh at me. But whenever someone says, like, it's a racist, like, where we're going. There are problems. So a friend told me, I think like 1 or 2 years ago, like, Anthony, like, why are you not asking yourself like, some of the important questions in life? And I think I like stay with me because it's quite easy to go through life on autopilot. You know, you can be suffering, you can be miserable, but you're not paying attention. Like the potential that is in you, kind of like what you said about that capacity for these people. Lucky you know, but even like addressing your identity, who you see yourself as and all of that, that really takes sobriety. It takes like taking stock, examining yourself, asking yourself those hard questions. So I can talk forever, but that for me is it because it starts from faith, which for me is also like a progressive thing, right? Because God deals with you step by step. You can't have the maturity of someone that has been doing something for 15 years and you're just fresh off the oven, you know? So when it comes to business, I've been in business for about 4.5 years, and where I'm at now, I would not give anything to the experience that I've had, up and down and up down, or where I'm at now, and the sobriety that you can get with the right people, with the right knowledge, with the right support environment, it's amazing because then you look at yourself and you're like, ooh, I came from there, but I also know that there's more to come. So that environment of asking yourself, examining your spirit, there's something in the Bible that says that, I'm paraphrasing here, but the things of man are not by the spirit that is in a man, right? So I read that and I kept wondering, okay, so that means that I actually know myself, but I choose not to know myself by not asking myself questions, right? So if that's to be something that someone watching can learn, that's it. Like look inward. So even if I find myself, let's say I'm talking to Naomi, and as a friend I want to advise, but then I take that advice and I look it back to me. Because I can only control myself and focus on what I'm doing. You know? Thank you.
I am Julius David Omoko. I am the CEO and founder of Chongo. Chongo is a digital HR agency where what we do is that we connect service providers of the cities. Ideally, our concept is creating an opportunity for people who are not able of creating CVs. Let's say like maids, gardeners, and all those. But they still need like to provide the service. So what Chongo does is kind of identify them with their location and connect them to the people that need their services from anywhere now. So it's a startup, and we started out in 2021, and that's pretty much it. My expertise are majored up in communications, public relations. I've been in the radio in the past into this international. So yeah, I'm happy to be here and I'm happy to know you all.
Thank you. So, with the faith, if I knew then what I know now, what has been the most important lesson for you right now? With that success, and that I'm understanding that exactly how we're taking it one step at a time. So, how about you?
So funny, actually, to be honest, it's the most interesting statement ever.
Yeah.
I can imagine like my mom waiting me to say this. So if I knew that what I know now is consistency and respecting goals and priorities. Because like over my past years, I've been skilled into doing a lot of things from graphics design, production, whatever, like just doing a lot of stuff. And but I've never been like consistent. So I was never like a consistent person. I never used to respect the goals, my goals. Let's say like they're a tiny goal. Let's say for example like I need to have a driving license at this period, or maybe I need to graduate into something, you know, then I need to like kind of study and, you know, like pass through my exams and stuff like that. So I was never that person who like actually keep things consistent, and it's kind of been like kept me in a place of like being all over the place. So my head was everywhere, like, yeah, I can do this, I can do that, I can do this, I can do that. But the achievements were all over, you know, like I was all over. Like if someone just like asked me like, okay, so what do you do? I'm like, oh yeah. So I was like, are you trying to scam me or something? But the truth is like, I was doing all that. It's just like, I didn't have like my priorities straight. So I guess like, for anybody out there, like I feel like putting priorities to your goals, let's say like this year I want to achieve A, just make sure that you break it down for monthly basis, quarterly basis, then you move on like day to day. You know, like now I have like my diaries, like actually it started, I said like this like a while ago. I have like a bunch of diaries, like every year, one gets paid, done, then I get a new one, then it's filled. But in each diary, it's my ideas, it's my tasks of every day, you know, like in my tasks like move from chapter to chapter, like this task, this is what I have to do, tasks, whatever, listen down. Then the next day, okay, was it completed? Did you move? 60%, 70, whatever, then it just keeps moving. So now it's kind of like an habit, the habit that I've created, and it's helping me to see the results of where I'm heading. And most importantly, the consistency part is, despite the fact like maybe like you want to enjoy life, you know, you need to be your own person, you need to be out there, you know, you need to meet new people unless you die a single man. You know, and I know like some people like enjoy that, but not to be disrespectful of course, but I guess like on my part is like finding the balance to who you are and just like being true to yourself, not conflicting your desires, your needs, and your ambition. You know, like I feel like that's the best way to move forward. Thank you.
Now, that's amazing, actually, really amazing. Guilty, you know. So, Baraji, tell us about yourself and tell us the most important lesson at this point. These are university students.
Thank you. My name is Baraji Sefas. I'm at the University of Dar es Salaam. Actually, I'm a finalist in July. One of the lessons that I had from my experience, especially at the university, is most of leadership, because I had different positions when I started from the second year, and now I was the head of finance to research students. And university also had an opportunity to be the head of finance to Tanzania to student society. One of the important lessons that I had in my experience is that sometimes you have to just do it at this moment of time. Because I work with different teams, and sometimes you might have, let's say, an idea, and some members of your team will be afraid to participate in that task. They say, this is too hard for us. We have our schedules, we have our lessons, so I can't take that. But if you are courage enough, you can really take it and see the impact. One of the something that I had is organizing events, because our largest event was the one that was really appreciated, our annual gala. We had our annual gala and we invited some top leaders. We tried to invite the governor of DOT, we invited the commissioner of insurance. They said, at our times we have no courage to organize such a thing. They show up there very impressive. So one of the things that I want to share with you right now, sometimes when you have an idea, you like just to
Just do it.
Just do it. Just do it. That's great. I love that. We are already jumping into all of my questions because people have spoken of faith and God, people have spoken of leadership, but I want us to navigate all of that. But for now, anyone can jump in. Feel free. The question is, what would you do different or what would you not do? With regards to your experience in life and where you're seated. So don't be again close to that thing. Just think of you and your journey because who knows what we can learn from you. So maybe I also see your events. Again, I keep telling people I would stop saying no to opportunities because somehow I thought I had a lot. Like somehow you have one thing you're doing, one little thing, and you feel like someone else comes in and you're like, no, I'm busy. But the truth is that busy is 2 classes a whole day in the school. So I would have used my time better. That's what I would have done. And that's what I would have done different. Really use my time better and say yes to more opportunities. So any one of us and among us, what would you do different or what would you not do with reference to your life journey now that you know all that you know? Yeah. Anybody?
All right, what would I do different? I wouldn't phrase it as all what I do different. I would phrase it as how could I do it better? And that is procrastination. The fear of success. The hinder, actually, the hinder. Guilty as charged, yes. One thing about procrastination is that we tend to be very ignorant or naive about it without knowing. But speaking from my own personal experience, it has hindered a lot of growth in me because I used to be very self-reserved. I used to be very clogged in terms of being open to learning new things. But also, it really hindered my proactiveness. And sitting down for the last couple of years, because I took a break from school, I got a chance to reflect on what life is all about. You know, it's not always about falling into the system. When I say system, I mean the general norm. You know that you have to go to school, finish school, go to college, finish college, go to uni, finish uni, work a 9 to 5, retire. Yeah. But sometimes you could take a different way, and as difficult as it could be, it brings out a certain version of you that you'd be amazed. And I can reference that to a speech I was looking at this morning by Steve Jobs. He was making a speech at Stanford in 2005. And there was something he mentioned about love and loss. And he heavily mentioned on the fact that most of the people were quite shook of the fact that he dropped out of college at a very early age. But not knowing that his background, where he was coming from, they more or less had the same background. And he did not give up for the wrong reasons, but he gave up because of the foundation that he came from. So probably even some of the parts of us that we don't like embracing are probably because of the foundation that we grew up in. And accepting that, working on it, and embracing the changes in ourselves is probably the biggest lesson. So working through our weaknesses and flaws and making the best out of them.
Yeah. Anybody else wants to look at that? What would you do better? What would you do different? Or what would you not do?
So that's just, there's no knowledge, there's no introspection, there's no mind else.
Yeah.
And it's tricky because, like I said, God finding, because God is always there, but then, like, how do you now put, yeah.
It's a myth thing.
That one, let's leave that one there. Go back to our other. So the other way I would look at it, I'd say, is the same thing that I said earlier, like that kind of asking questions. So I have a friend who, even if she stops her toe, she'll be like, why did that happen?
Oh God,
It must
I
mean
know that
something.
friend.
Yeah. I'm the.
You like it too.
I'm like that.
Now I have a friend.
You understand? That's why. So I think if this, what's the question? What have we done differently?
Yeah.
It is that.
So, yeah.
That whole thing of just being fully aware and fully present. So it's a whole introspection, it's taking stock at the end of the day. What have I done right? What can I do better? So that's just an example of somebody who's keenly paying attention. Because believing that there's no coincidence, believing in the best, that I'm not just here with time and oxygen. So yeah, that's pretty much
I mean, you could be wasting oxygen. Choose things. Julius, please, maybe Sam would give us that.
So, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
Well, on my part, what I'm kind of doing,
Yeah.
I think is being less fearful. I think I have been like always scared to ask for what is mine, or to ask like for what is mine. Like that's a great way to say it. I've always like hesitated, right? Even like today, I'm still like kind of like trying to battle out of it, but I guess like most importantly is like standing up for myself. It's like this is what I want. And this is what I'm called, and stuff like that. And I feel like I'm not the only one. I feel like a lot of people are going through the same thing. And from what I experience and everything, I just thankfully that getting through the right cycle of people, the right people who can motivate you, who listen to the right podcasts and the right shows, is kind of be like able to like navigate all that. And I guess like that's the best way to go. Yeah.
And now we're home. So I want you to continue. Oh, you want to say something?
Yes.
Okay, great. I want to say, in life, I only realize what you're saying because somebody told me, life is not giving you what's fair. It gives you what you negotiate for. So you can sit there and say, it's not fair, I'm a good worker, this is not fair. But you get what you negotiate. The life is not fair. You get what, and I'm a good figure. Why am I guilty of everything? So that's great. Please speak and then all of you finish.
Okay.
Although our next one, which you can also take, is what has helped you. Speaking of things like if it's your faith, people who have had your back, what has been that thing that has helped you and helped you go on? And just to speak from me, to just always go back to that family, because I don't know what I would love to. It's like I have no idea. That you just add up, and I'm grateful to have had them, and that's why I'm even sitting here. So for you now, go, what would you do different, and what has kept you going? Then you take it over. You do all.
Okay, if you ever get a chance to do something, do it wholeheartedly. In so many situations, you get a chance to do something, and you just say, you procrastinate, let's say. Maybe you're just like, yeah, I don't think this is as important, I don't want to do this. And maybe you're too carefree with the opportunities you had. So I feel like we should start doing stuff more wholeheartedly. Like, don't take your job for granted, let's say. Don't take your parents for granted, stuff like that. And also, the other thing I wanted to say is, when you do something, like what he said, like you stub your toe and you're thinking, what's the reason? Yeah. So sometimes losing things, or maybe situations happening, like bad situations, does not always mean that it was bad for you. Yeah. So something could happen and it could be a bad situation at that time, but then in the long run, it's something that's gonna be like a positive impact to you. So don't always look for the positive side of everything. That's how I am. Like, what's the positive in everything? Like, what if I lose something? Why? And I'm sure it's for a good reason. So always look at the positive of things. And also, what was the last question? Yes, my faith. I'm so sorry. So my faith, I believe like a lot. It all goes with the things that I'm talking about right now. Like I always see the positive in everything. So what keeps me going is that even when something maybe negative happens, I'm just like something positive is going to happen from it. Because I've been in so many situations where things didn't go my way, but at the end of the day, another better opportunity arose. Or maybe it's not as good as what I lost, but then I'm like, I was supposed to learn from this maybe. So I'm just a believer, and I believe in God, and I believe that everything happens for a reason, and everything happens for you, not against you. And just be positive, just be as positive as you can. And they all, like the law of attraction, I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but that you attract what you're thinking. So if you're constantly thinking of the negatives, that's exactly what you're going to get. But if you always thinking of things are coming to you positively, that's exactly what you're going to get. So just be positive and attract positivity into your life. Yeah. Yeah.
That's a lot. Is that a lot?
That's okay.
So what about if you stop like thinking like things are so negative and like things are just like hitting you back and forth and you're like, okay, now because now I have like to think, I'm tired of it thinking about what I have to manifest. Like have you been in that moment, right?
Yeah. I am an overthinker. Like I used to overthink so much to the point where, you know, there's situations where at night you're running on 1,000,000 thoughts per second. Can't stop thinking. Yeah. But then my mom happened to tell me it's fine. And I ask so many questions like, is this gonna be okay? Is this gonna be okay? It is. Just relax. You know? It's going to be fine. Like it's not the end of the world. Yeah. So it's going to be fine. Just focus on the positive. In a situation where maybe let's say you lost something, maybe your career isn't going where it's supposed to go, just don't focus on the fact that it's not going how you want it to go. Focus on what should I do to maybe change the direction, you know? What should I do to maybe be more positive? Maybe stop focusing on the career and like focus on something else and then come back to it. Like take time to breathe. We were talking about burnout as artists. Whenever we don't like talking about burnout because it's something very underrated, I feel like, but then all artists experience it. Like, I'm just tired, I don't want to do this anymore. So just take a break and relax. Do something else that you enjoy. Maybe go spend time with family. That's why vacations are important, I believe. Yeah, spend time with family, spend time with your friends, read a book, and get back to whatever you wanted to focus on. You'll come back with new ideas. You'll come back with much more positive energy. Heavy on the positive. Stay as positive as you can be. And just be happy and also smile at people. Yeah.
Medicine, yeah?
Yeah.
Great.
Well,
So guys, okay, continue.
About what I do if I go back, because I told my people that procrastination. So if I go back, I think I just do my home.
yeah.
iPad. Yeah.
But I'll go back, what I think I just do my home, and I behind.
Amazing. Amazing.
In simple words, I would say in my early 20s, maybe I would prioritize the opportunity to learn, the opportunity to experience a journey than the monetary gains. I've made that mistake so many times, and right now I'm actually doing a couple of things that do not necessarily translate into immediate monetary gains, but I'm actually being at a position where I can experience something firsthand. I can be able to get some skills I can be able to do things that I wouldn't have done on my own if I was to do it. I would definitely supposed to maybe start a business, but I can simply volunteer for somebody who has a business and is doing that thing. Like for example, to you, Julius, I can come to you, Julius, and say, hey, I want to volunteer so that I can maybe get some HR skills from you, like how to be able to just help people in a certain industry hire better, or something like that. By the way, Julius, if you started a podcast, I will listen to it. You have a classic journalistic voice. If you start a podcast, I will listen to it. Thank you.
I was talking in expectation. That's the only thing that makes me want. Because in past, I was expecting very good things in my way. But finally, I didn't get it. And I feel like I am already lost something in my life. But when I stop expecting something and creating a condition of, there are two sides of things, negativity and positivity. After knowing that, I realized that I can go forward in any situation. So we're supposed to, the thing that held me back is I was in no expectation, big expectation. Yes, I do something. If it's mine, it will be mine. If it's not mine, it's okay.
It is not right.
It's not mine. Yeah. Okay, and if person can be with me, yes. If you don't,
Then
well.
yes.
So I realized many of people are failed because of expectation, and I remove it in my life. I expect
Don't expect anything.
I don't expect
And
anything.
you get everything.
If I get it, yes. If I don't get it, yes. So I suppose I wake up, I wake up, I do something in my way, I do something in my passion. If it's mine, it's mine.
Yeah. Amazing, amazing. You have to finish something, and we have to do one round for all of us. Yeah, finish what you were trying to tell us. Then I can do this final question.
It was about what keeps me going. I think that keeps me going, I think, because I'm a believer. The Bible, this verse says, don't be afraid. You can write it in 365. So every day throughout the year, it tells you don't be afraid. So wake up, just don't be afraid, keep going.
Amazing.
Interesting.
Very interesting. 365 times.
365.
I didn't know that. So I want us to finish up because people are coming in and we have to go to the next session. But now you can flex. And then the thing is, I wanted also to know leadership roles in a sense of what has our leaders and what are our leaders who are current there. Is there any role they have played to influence us directly in our lives? And I call it also in Advent the power of influence. What they call influential people, what they call leaders, how have they and their lives impacted you and your journey to where you're sitting now? And yeah, don't forget the first question if you want to go back to it, but those two questions on leadership and the power of influence in a sense of their leaders and you as a leader, so how has it been impacted for both of you? So for me, you all know, leadership has been everything. Mentorship has been everything. I have been blessed to have a network of people who don't have time and still could make time for me. Today we have like 3 people, who are CEOs of these companies, which they're busy people, and they still make that time. We all know that one speaker. We all know that. So for me, leadership has played a huge role, and I'm not sure if that's the same for everybody because I had a chance to be exposed to a company that had these people. So I'm not sure about the rest, and that's why this question is so close to me because leadership has a very huge role and it can enhance growth in a person, especially young people. So to all of you, however, let's speak on leadership in everything. I think I'm going to mentor to me. When they start, I don't want it to be so. You guys are like so. We're moving around and around, and some starts. Yeah. Now you have the podcast so well, they want to listen.
So,
I know I can start.
okay,
Yeah.
so I guess leadership for me, wow, it's defined like from the home, from home, right? Coming up from my uncle, he's a very busy guy. He works with Tanzania Revenue Authority and in a very high rank. And whenever I go to him and be like, this is the vision that I have, and this is what I'm doing, he was just like kind of be like hold my shoulder and be like, okay, let me see. Then he looks into it and like, okay, very interesting, like the sense of him like humbling himself and like really looking the details of everything, despite the fact how busy and how tired he may be. Kind of inspires me, like I should stop there, I should keep presenting more, I should keep like putting more on the table. Like she helps me see the bigger picture of like Africans trading among us stuff, and it's helped me evolve even in my ideas and everything that I'm doing to kind of be like not only be Tanzanian based, but in an African community based in a way that is sustainable and unified and ongoing. And she took like her time, like in everything, just as much as I took my time helping her like on her company. So I guess like for me in leadership, I feel like leadership should be a person who is humble. Like I would not call a person a leader if they're not humble, like ever. You need to be humble, you need to be a listener. Like don't be a person who like always wants to speak, like always want like things your way. Like if you're the person to me, like I would not define you as a leader, like no matter in home environment and work, it doesn't matter. But I feel like be humble, share what you want, share your expectations, and see that person like walk through to where they want to go. See them walk through, consult them like this is best, this is bad, this is that. Just like speak to them one-on-one. I feel like that's the best way, and that's how I can define a leader. That's like the leaders that I've found.
Amazing.
Yep.
Anybody? We're just taking in
Me?
that.
I speak about leadership.
We're taking in all
Okay.
that.
Okay. So I would like to get into religious leadership a bit. Okay. So I listen to religious leaders. I don't really go to church that much, and yeah, because okay, I'm a Muslim, but I listen to religious leaders from all religions because they have values that I can learn from these people, really good values. So there's this Mchungaji, I'm not sure I'm getting his name right, his name is Mchungaji Mugogo. I'm not sure most of you know him. He was once talking about this man who went to heaven, and so it's all boring, like people are just dressed in white, they're drinking alcohol-free wine, non-alcoholic wine. And so then he said, oh, let me go check out what's happening in hell. And he found a big part in hell. It's lit. It's lit. So he said, this is the place to be. So he goes to hell the second day, and it's fiery fire. People are burning. And he said, wait, this is not what I saw yesterday. Shida nini hapa? And they told him, hey, yesterday was campaign day. Oh. We were campaigning. We were trying to get more votes. We were trying to get members into... So, now here's where I transition into political leadership. I think I've been highly inspired by Mwalimu Julius Kambarage Nyerere. Julius Kambarage Nyerere was highly also inspired by a US President, John Fitzgerald Kennedy. They were, so in 1961 up to 1962, they were both presidents, okay? So, Julius Nyerere once said, an American president who is JFK, he said, ask not what America can do for you, but ask what can you do for America. So Julius Nyerere also used that, but just substituted the country, used Tanzania. And so now, when I'm connecting the religious aspect of it and the political aspect of it, is that you should be able to do more for your community every day. Do more for your community than your community will do for you. Be more of a giver than a taker, you know? And so, which is why I personally go with that mantra. Like, I always want to do more for people and not to just be on like, okay, what's in it for me? You know, so I really go with that, and which is why I also have a very, very personal mantra. It's called Nasibu for President, but it is not actually a political campaign, but it's a reminder that I'm campaigning every day. Not just one day. I don't have to give people today so that tomorrow I can just sit and say, hey, I gave yesterday, so now, hey, give me now, give me now, give me now, until I come to give in another next campaign round, you know? So basically it's just to give more, basically, do more for people. So I love that aspect of leadership so much. Thank you.
I want to ask you something.
Yeah, please do.
So just want to ask you.
Yeah.
So, you know, like the thing is, I kind of, someone like also told me this thing, and I also like had to transition like my notes.
Yeah.
Don't you feel like the more you can create for your community, the more you drain yourself, you don't have enough to give?
Yeah.
And like, how do you kind of be like set that balance?
Yeah, right. The balance you're talking about is about being able to give to the community if you maybe don't also have enough, or maybe you have less.
Yes.
Okay.
Or no matter who you are.
Oh, no matter who you are.
Because for me, if you give and you don't have,
Yeah.
actually you're giving lack.
Yeah.
You're giving scarcity. You're not giving.
Yeah.
You have to be full
Yeah.
for you to give.
Yeah.
If you're not, you're hurting yourself.
Yeah.
You're burning out. You'll be
Yeah.
like, how do I do with this people? It's like what she's saying, even some people say, I'm done, I'm tired. Because when people are famous, we don't even give them a chance to refill sometimes. We want to take and take and take and take.
Yeah.
And now they're in a point where I have given, I have to give me, and then continue giving.
Yeah.
So for me, the moment you have, you're not giving, fill yourself. Your cups run over, then what's running over now? Different. That's my take.
Okay, so my take basically is about you being able to do the small things and even the big things, because sometimes, and maybe most of the time, it's about the heart. You know, I told you guys I listen to religious leaders. I remember this one thing from the Bible. I would just say it as it is. And so I would say that there was this very poor mother who was giving out tzedakah, and she gave out her last crumbs of pennies. And there were people who are very rich, and they put in stacks of money on the table into that couple. And you know, what happened is that in the eyes of God, the person who had less is the person who gave more. But then, when we're speaking of normal practicalities in the communities, put money aside, okay? Of course, there is that curse of the breadwinner's curse. Nobody takes care of the breadwinner. You're tired, you're burning out, but you have give. I want, I need. Everybody's giving a handout, right? But there are these small things we can really do for our communities. Plant a tree, you know? Something has been, or maybe waste has been improperly displaced or has been improperly disposed, you know, try to do something and put it in the right place. Make your environment clean. I mean, that's one thing you can do for starters, right? You live in a house, there are neighbors. I mean, you know, do something. The environment is not as clean. There's nobody to clean it. I mean, like, do something. It would take you how long to clean, like maybe a parking area that maybe is filled with leaves falling from the tree, like maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes max, and you can do that. So I think it can go to different levels and different practicalities, but a balance is good. Don't hurt yourself. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. I hope I've answered you, Julius.
Yeah, you have those.
Okay, thank you.
Great, great. We have to do one more minute, and then, as you can see, we have to really wrap up. And yeah, I want us to continue, but let's wrap it up, and then yeah, let's join because we're continuing this session.
I feel like most people believe that being a leader you have to be like really successful, but that's not the case. You can always lead in like small situations as well. You can lead in class, you can lead your family, you can help your little brother that's also leading, you can help your cousin, you can help anyone. That's also a form of leadership, and I believe that we should always help people and not just look at your own interests. And I feel like sadly a lot of African leaders just look at their own best interests. They don't care about the rest of the people. So I feel like that discourages me a lot in so many ways. Because why don't you look at what the community is going through? Why don't you build for the kids, maybe the schools? Like, we still have in 2024 schools without desks. What do you mean? And the country
It's like 5G, it's like AR.
yeah.
And we have no desks.
Imagine, like, so I feel like we should, and I know, sorry, I'm like stuck, but then in my generation, I keep saying my generation a lot, but then we genuinely believe that that's not our problem. I've seen this a lot, where I try to talk politics, and I know most people find it boring or something, but then it's our problem because this is our country, you know. Choose good leaders, go vote. And also, I feel like the leaders themselves should start looking at the community and what we want. So yeah, I feel like just take care of the other people and like properly lead as with example. Yeah. Okay.
Don't be discouraged.
Yeah.
That energy, you can use it to just continue thinking of where you can
Help
use
things.
help. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let them not discouraged.
For me, leadership, I always say that in Tanzania or Africa, we see leadership as an era,
Job opportunity.
job opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah. When we help people to get job opportunity, and at the end, when they reach in the kwenye kazi zao, wanaweza kutuambia tena sisi tujiajiri. So that's why I say that leadership is all about sacrifice. No matter in what situation, everyone here is a leader, but we don't have everyone can be in that place, so that we can do things in our situations, in our community, in our families. We can move, but we don't depend on the leadership in Africa. Labda next week kama people ya kubadilisha, lakini many of people here, even if vijana, we are looking for opportunity. Let me go to Chama cha Mapinduzi, I can be somewhere, I can get some opportunity, and then I can get after getting that opportunity, they forget everything.
Yeah.
We can see in our leaders, after getting some ranks, they forget where they are comes. So leadership is all about sacrifice, do in your staff, in your family, not about the opportunity. Many of people taking out the opportunity of job. That's why we see there are no leaders, very good leadership in our country, in our country.
So maybe clarity to keep it there is like, I was like, I don't want to wake up and realize it was my time to be a leader, and I was still waiting for my leaders to do something, or waiting because it's my time. It's time. It's like, I'm not waiting for somebody. I'm not. There's a possibility we are going to vote for us now. The ones you think, are we going to forget when we're there?
Also, as the conversation was going, I was wondering, are we in Kenyan Gen Z? Some of the best
Good one.
Anyway, so I'd rather take the focus a little bit to mentorship. power of mentorship and submitting yourself to someone, like you said, an uncle, that you trust that they want the best for you. You realize that there is something that they understand that you may not necessarily have now. So that for me is how I summarize leadership, because there's no one that is a leader that doesn't have mentor or a coach. But like this whole thing of I can do it all, I get it, like we all are leaders, we all grow into it. It's like saying I can't wake up in the morning and say that I'm not a man. Like we're already leaders, but there is growth, there's development. You can't escape it. You have to pay the price. Evil. So
just to briefly summarize what you have all shared is 3 things, yeah, and actually most of them have been mentioned already. The first one is continuous learning. Na hasa kwa kipindi hichi ambacho tunacho kama vijana, I believe that I see fellow youths in this room, and naweza kusema kwa wote au kwa vijana wote tuliomo kwenye this room, this moment is never stop learning. Yani, there's never a wrong moment to learn. No matter how small that skill set is, no matter the fact kwamba apply kwenye kile kitu ambacho unataka kufanya, because the knowledge, the insight that you're going to gain through that skill set or through the open-mindedness to learn that skill is going to be immense. Second thing is humility. Brother here shared a lot about humility. You cannot define yourself as a leader kama hauna uwezo kujishusha. Unapoweza kujishusha, unaweza attract what's actually meant for you. Like brother right there said that sometimes you tend to feel like you're not attracting the right things. It's because we don't exercise humility. The moment we exercise humility, inakupa nafasi ya kuweza attract vile vitu ambavyo Mungu amekufanyia kuweza kuviattract kwenye maisha yako. Na cha mwisho is leadership is all about filling others up. Kwa maana gani? Kwa maana kwamba kiongozi sio lazima uwe kwenye chama kama ulivyosema kaka pale. Kiongozi sio lazima uwe na kitengo kikubwa kwenye kampuni. Kiongozi sio hata lazima uwe na ajira. Kwa sababu watu wengi vijana wengi tunadhania kwamba kuwa kiongozi ni lazima uwe na ajira. Hapana. Kuwa kiongozi inaanzia pale utokapo. Whether it's at home, whether umepanga na mshikaji, whether uko na wana, whether uko na your friends, it starts from where you are, you know? Whether it's being a monitor, it's being a brother, it's being a guardian, it's being there's endless leadership opportunities. And I believe everyone in this room, this moment, are leaders. Because one way or another, we're involved in supporting our fellow individuals, our fellow relatives, our parents in one way or another.
Yeah.
You know, so those are the 3 takeaways I would like to share with you all.
I believe there's nothing that can be lost in this universe. If you give back to the society, you can thank you in other ways. The second thing is about the power of mentorship. My brother said there's nobody that has been feeling all of this to be solved. So hawezi wewe ukawa unajua kila kitu. The good thing ni kwamba kuna watu ambao tayari walishapita hiyo njia ambayo wewe unataka kupita. So the power of mentorship itakusaidia wewe kujua wao walihitaji mbali. Kusaidia kufikia.
Asante sana. I just realized I had lost my thoughts. So I want us all, I don't know how, but you have to say a word or a sentence about the words I'm going to say. And we have already, so we'll start here because he has the mic. Then that's how we're going to wrap it. So the first word is knowledge. Say a word or a sentence about knowledge.
I believe knowledge is power.
Great. Julius? Me first, okay. So knowledge, knowledge, stick it, search it. And then knowledge is power, and then there, knowledge.
Knowledge is what you repeatedly do.
And then passing that.
Knowledge is infinite.
Package your knowledge and sell it.
Okay, it's not knowledge, but you can never know too much.
Yeah, good one.
Yeah.
Knowledge is the bullet. Shoot your goals.
Wow.
Knowledge is experience.
Amazing. So from you, you're gonna speak about time.
Time is money.
Good. Money.
Artificial intelligence can help you maximize your time.
Live in the present.
Wow.
I'll literally tattoo this. Time flies.
Oh.
Okay.
Time heals.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm just like, wow.
Oh.
That's great. Okay. Another word, ideas. Don't use it around. Don't use around any ideas. That's for me. Okay. Ideas.
If you have an idea, just go for it.
I'll say evaluate your ideas.
There is never a small or big idea. It just depends on how much you believe in it.
I don't know what's better, ideas or money. No, I'm just kidding.
You never know where your ideas can take you.
Okay, invest in the right idea.
The proof is in the pudding.
You're done. Stop. So I will. This is a word, but however you choose between the two. So either I would say connection or people. But that I'm just saying connection, but I really want it to be aligned to people. If you're connected to your dog.
Okay.
So I'm just saying connections. What would you say about that? I would say treasure them.
Always create connections with people. Be mindful.
Well, build your network before you need it. I'm repeating it once again.
True success lies within the people we connect with.
Respect your connections.
They say your network is your network.
Amazing.
That's
I'm going to a better one. So it's either you use the word loss or you use the word failure, but I'm just saying, it didn't go away. So for me, I would say loss can be painful, but you gotta move on and go on and grow on.
It's okay to make loss or make mistakes. So don't be afraid to make mistakes.
At any loss, it's not the end.
Failures create winners.
loss. Failure is feedback, simply.
Apparently, most of the greatest inventions were created from failure. So,
Failure is the way to success.
Millionaires are failures too.
Amazing. So I'm gonna do this, and this one is great. It's grateful. So I'm gonna say one grateful. Everybody's gonna say one grateful, and we're gonna thank you all for being patient with us and taking your time. So first and foremost, God Almighty, thank you so much, all of you. And then second is Mama Nana, because without her, she's just my Mama Nana. Shout out to you. Thank you so much, because without her, there's no and there's nothing. So thank you, Mama, and thank you, God.
I thank God for being here, and also I'm so grateful for this method and friends. Also, shout out to my classmate Ernest. I see you guys.
Amazing.
Grateful to be here.
Amen.
Grateful to God, good health, and getting a chance to meet a lot of good people.
Grateful to God for the family that has blessed me with. Thank you.
I am grateful to God, my mom, and Nana. She's Nana. She's amazing. And yeah, and grateful for everything that happens to me all the time.
I'm grateful that my friend is just there because
Like,